I have elderberry trees in this garbage can. I put an underground water system here, and then filled it full of horse manure that's been composted. I'm working with 4,400 psi pressure washer with an oscillating tip. See it spin? Watch this. Froze last time. About at full speed. I just turned it on. It takes time to get warmed up. So I'm cutting this and liquefying it so these will go in real easy, like quicksand. I'll show you one real fast. See, it's soft. And it's not frozen either. It's workable. It's manageable. It's tolerable. And you just sprinkle it a little bit. Let a couple drop here and there, and that's where you're at. You start planting. And I got buckets of these, and I just did these over here. Now it's got another technique to it. Pretty impressive. I can draw with it. We got to determine where it's at, where we start, and where we end off at. A rope's the easiest way from a point like this, so you're not all over the place. So I'll lay a rope down from one point to the other end, and I can make straight lines. Then I can start doing different types of rows. You can do it with this, and you can probably come close, but it's easier if you mark it for a longer section, and you just follow the rope. this. I can level ground. I can level ground, and I can define trenches real quick. So I'm adding soil with it, just not straight manure, even though it's good manure. But I'm cutting this area. I'm going to put flowers here. I got a lot of daffodils and tulips. So you can see the procedure, how I go, and then I'll just put the flowers in. I could do a couple rows, I could do another one here. Take these rocks, you throw these rocks in here, and they'll add heat. And it'll be harder for other roots to come in and mess with it from the top. These trees are professionals at digging down, and they like rocks for heat. So now I'll pick out my rocks, throw the rocks in there on both sides, fill that in on top of the trees, and they're little warmers for them. And they work the opposite way. When it's hot, it'll stay cool because of having direct heat. It takes longer for a rock to create heat or cold. And they're cold tolerant because it froze hard this morning here. You understand the principle? And then if you want to work on another area, it's like this. marked it so we know where the next move is. Guess we didn't need the rope after all. That's a long trench. So there's a trench that's 200 feet long that just starts it. Now, if you start on one end with a zero tip, you can plow the whole thing straight. I'm going to be planting daffodils and tulips down on both sides of here, with the elderberries on this side coming down. So I'll have flowers in the spring, flowers in the summer, and then food in the fall. And I'll figure out the rest. I know you got it. I know you understand what I'm doing. This is a long enough video to give you an understanding how I'm weeding everything also. These are peach trees. They stay in the front. I need more flowers in my garden. See how I blow it? You work on one way, and you work backwards. You could build a really nice fluffy trench. Cut it in half and you got it. It's fluffy soil. It's not compacted, and you can go down real deep. The rocks fall to the bottom. Looks like I spent 45 minutes on this already. That's how long I set the water for. I gotta go do something else. Anyway, you got a good idea how to do it, how to plant trees quickly and weed the area. Make your rows, get things going. This should help out. Remember, God is in charge.